Hey, it's Mikey Mike. Hey, it's foil board session number 5, and we're foil boarding here in Long Beach today. It's August 31st, and we have our foil set up now. We were all the way back to the back line, and now we pushed it up to, I think it's the number 3. I don't know if that means 3 centimeters or what. We're on the simulator 5.6 foams top board, getting a quick launch here on the beach, and we're going foiling. So I've already pre-staged my board way up the beach, about 2 lifeguard towers down, and I did really good today. I got completely downwind and upwind, and making really good ground, and I always made it back to my chair, which was awesome. So that's a win, and a lot of face plants today. So enjoy the face plants. Really super light wind still in the beginning. Had to pull that center line in to try to get it to fly, and then got a little speed in the kite and moved it up. Now, first thing I noticed once I moved that foil mast forward, had a lot of lift immediately, and which is good, but I wasn't quite ready for it yet, and I'm sure eventually you can probably scoot it up a little bit further, but right now I think it's going to work perfect for me. I had a great session today, and just kind of working through some of the light winds here, just kind of get my feet from under the board, and what I noticed is it's pretty darn stable. I took the surfboard out later in the afternoon, and my surfboard seems squirrely compared to the foil, which I would not have expected. But I spent most of the day on the foil today, and then one session on the surfboard. But it was just kind of dive the kite and get up just like a normal surfboard session, and then kind of I call it the poop squat, and just kind of stand up over the board with my butt out. We're trying to do one-handed, seems to work the best. And I'm able to point the board upwind, and I'm gaining ground, especially on a lot of kiters. I really can carve upwind pretty good. So there was a lot of slushy nose dives, and not so much bucko bronco and yo-yo style, but there was some. And these things need brakes. That's all I gotta say, because you get hauling some serious butt, and there's no way to slow down. On a twin tip or a surfboard, you can kind of carve upwind and just, or put the kite over your head and it slows you down. Man, you're moving out on a foil, and it's scary. So I did a lot of, bails, just, pull my feet out of the straps and just kind of float across the water on my face. So we're up on a foil. We're doing okay. A little touch and goes, but there's a pretty good swell here, and I was trying to keep it flat and kind of foil through the dips, which worked great, and carving upwind and doing pretty good. A little foggy on the lens here, but it cleans up every time I hit my face in the water, so we'll get through that. And you can see the kiter up in front of me. I'm trying to work through some traffic as well, and the face plant, and look how clear the lens looks now. Yeah, perfect, right? So pushing the board, going the other direction, and walk my foot back on the board. Now this way, I definitely was foiling a lot better than going to the west instead of going to the south or east, southeast. I guess I don't know which way you call it. Going north or going south, I guess that'd be the right track. But going north or west, I don't know which way this would be. But going back towards the beach, it was I did a lot better. Even fighting through working through some of these pretty good swells here and still under control. And what I noticed is feathering in and out the bar just a bit, just to give it a little bit of pop, help bring the nose up, and also foot pressure. So it almost feels like once you're up on foil that you actually have to over-exert your front foot, like you're going to be riding downhill like on a skateboard, like you want to push downhill like down a ramp. Although you don't go down the ramp, you just are pushing that much pressure on. So trimmed the kite in a little bit. It was going a little fast, a little too much pressure. You don't need a lot of power, but it's nice to have power to learn, definitely. But then it gets a little scary, and especially with no brakes, except for your face. So, speaking of face, yeah. So, working through it. I had a lot more kite cam video, but I crashed the kite once today. Only once, which isn't too bad. But it tweaked my camera to where I was looking at the back of the kite the whole time. So, Had a couple pretty good runs in there. So pretty good face plants as well. And trying to stay away from the board, and the board kind of does what it wants to do. You'll see in some of these crashes that it just kind of goes all over the place. So dive the kite up one-handed and just start carving upwind a little bit. And if you carve too much, it gets too sideways, and there's not a tall enough mast. I'm on a 24-inch mast, and I think it's the 60 centimeter. And I power back the kite up a little bit. It looks like a little lull here, and you don't get a lot of room to get out of the water, that's for sure, or you'll breach, and then you kind of torpedo one. So we're up on foil and doing okay, and not killing anybody. That's the main goal, right? Focus, don't kill anybody, don't get your kites tangled up. And they have no clue that I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but somehow I'm managing to get through some of this traffic. And a couple times I just have to fall in the water because people are coming my direction, and I'm like, yeah, sorry, I better stop. So I squeaked by this guy, and this is the furthest I've been towards the pier on a couple of these runs, and I was staying, kind of parallel with the beach most of the time, which was pretty cool. I made my way out past the buoy line and was able to just kind of go back and forth, which was really cool, not ending up at the beach and having to, turn around and basically go back out. So I have no idea how I slowed down there, but the couple times I was just moving out. And not once did I have to walk the shame today, which was awesome. I pretty much ended back at the lollipop every time I went back in. And a couple times, I body dragged back in from the water, just safer that way. So, but I saw a few people on the beach today. Kind of a couple of shout outs. It was pretty cool. And high fives out there, and virtual high fives. But yeah, Belmont Shore, learning how to kite foil. This is an awesome place to do it. The winds were about 15 to 20 today. It was pretty good. And face plants are even better. Yeah. So, in a kite cam perspective, just kind of dive the kite and just get up as best you can, and then one-handed, and just balance yourself. That's the biggest thing. Is once you're flat over the board, everything seems to kind of work itself out. And then what I've noticed is I try to carve upwind a little bit, and it gives me some more speed. And then as soon as you get on foil, it really just picks up quick. So I'm still pretty low to the water. I wouldn't, this session or these sessions here, I don't think I was taxiing as much as I was foiling. So, well, maybe. But it felt like I was foiling. So that was cool. The foil is definitely engaged. We're getting lift and we're going slow. And then sometimes we were just moving. And man, it is really hard to slow down. I did attempt to do a couple of little turns, but it felt like I was going to break my ankles off, so I opted not to do that and just bail and faceplant. So nice little foil piece here. And there's pretty good swell coming through as well, so and a lot of traffic to deal with. And their board just kind of did its own thing. But having a great time foiling. It's definitely a different skill set, that's for sure. And you see the pro guys cruising by you, and you're like, how in the heck did they do that? And on such a stilt, man, they are just full on. They're like 100 centimeter bore or a mass that they got going on there, and they're just nosebleed section. And I'm crying. I'm a foot off the water. It's crazy. So engaging the foil a little bit. We're having some fun. Definitely moving along here. And I seem to be somewhat under control, which is great. I don't know if that's totally the case. It definitely doesn't look like that if you're coming towards me. But in my brain, that's the way it's working. So it's a little kind of a longer video. I just thought I had some pretty good footage from session 5 here, and so I wanted to put it down so I have it from my memory, my failing memory. And sometimes you can actually slow down, but when the wind was pumping, I was moving out, and it was hard to hit the brakes. That's for sure. Plus, you're so excited that you're up on foil and you're going, and you don't want to slow down. At the same time, you're going, yeah, that's gonna hurt when I crash. I knocked the wind out of myself a couple times and smacked my hand really hard. And it's kind of like water skiing when you crash. It's about the same, maybe not quite as fast, but it still hurts the same. So definitely, Long Beach is your key to go to kiteboard and learn. The kiteboarding, kitesurfing, foilboarding. Really, really user friendly. Unless there's a lot of kites on the beach. This was a Monday. Fortunately, I have Mondays off, so I could come out and enjoy some time on the water. And the winds cooperated. iKitesurf didn't lie, and it actually worked out pretty good. And then we're trying to pivot the board around here on the foil, so I don't have to fight it so much. And it's a struggle if you don't get it right. So my trick is to kind of keep the board kind of downwind a little bit, the nose of the board downwind. So I'm not trying to fight against it, because once you start getting pulled by the kite and you hit the board, then it wants to walk upside down, and then you're getting foils in your legs, and it's not pretty. So, and be careful, don't kick the foil, because that'll leave a mark, I'm telling you. So my fat boy trick, I just kind of swing that one leg up, and then I push the board away best I can, but on that side there's a lot of pressure, so I have to kind of walk my foot back from the center, and then dive the kite and get ready to go. And kind of back to the one-handed thing here, and sometimes I have some decent runs, and other times it's just mega face plant. And that's where I crashed the kite, and somehow the bar got turned the wrong way, and I grabbed the wrong handle, and it crashed right into the water. And I lost my camera, not lost it, but it folded open. I pulled it on backwards for some reason. There's a couple guys out there, man. They're on like 5-meter kites and 6-meter kites, and they're just doing some spins and loops and just trying to create as much power as they can. I brought the 14 dog out, and definitely a lot better than the 17 last week. A lot more maneuverable and a lot more user-friendly when the wind's picked up. I could actually trim the kite in if needed. But you can definitely get some speed going, that's for sure. And we're up on foil, and we are moving. And I know this is going to hurt. But it's still hard at it. We're having such a great time. I'm telling you, foiling, it's pretty fun. I'm still not a big fan of the foil kites yet. I like my LEI kite. It's easy, it's safe. Just mowing the grass, back and forth. I'm not doing any tricks or anything. My face probably is the most thing. But really enjoying it, having a good time. And trying these two different disciplines was definitely different. And like I said, getting them back on my surfboard, it was a little squirrely. It was easier, but it definitely was squirrely when I got on it. I was like, holy cow, the foil was actually really stable. This big wing is a Infinity 76 Slingshot and the Simulator 5.6 surfboard. Now this is a heavy setup. I picked up a couple guys' foils, rescued them off the beach in the last couple days or so, and man, those things are light. Some of those Moses boards, but you know, I'm happy with what I got right now. We'll just gotta keep at it. I'm actually enjoying, you know, I don't need to go too fast, just kind of putts around, and I'm having a good time with that. I think I'm going to get a longer mast. I'm going to get the 90 centimeter just to have a little bit more foil in the water. Not that I want to get up that high, but I think it'll save me a couple endos and a few face plants. We'll see what happens. Like I said, just mowing the grass, going back and forth, and you know, just trying to get the feel under the board, and it's working. It's definitely working. So don't give up if you're learning how to foil. And I'm telling you, and it's a little bit easier on your body, except for some of the hard crashes. But I'm not as tired as I am when I'm on my surfboard for some reason, and it's weird. I guess I'm either going too slower or I'm just flat and not putting a lot of pressure on my feet and and pulling in the bar. It's a very light touch, that's for sure. But I would definitely say you have to learn how to either twin tip or surfboard prior to getting over onto the foil. It's probably not mandatory, but it definitely will help. And the biggest thing was getting it for me for the surfboard, because it's very, very, very similar to the water starts. And just to feel the board. So you get out of the water, a little traffic here, but you get out of the water too hard, and you're definitely going to pay the price. So, you know, some of you guys have definitely a lot more skill level than I do. If you got any tips or tricks, please leave them in the comments down below. I appreciate all the comments. You know, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And, you know, like I said, I do these videos for myself, and you guys are more than welcome to join in on my pain and victory sometimes here. And but I appreciate you watching, and, you know, it's a lot of fun. It was actually kind of fun to get to foil for a little while. You know, it's not a skill that I want to try to learn at any other beach like Lake Mojave or Lake Isabella that I've been going to, or even Sherman Island. I don't know how. Without boat support and you know, like a crew to come rescue you or whatever, there's no way I would even attempt that. But Long Beach is like pretty user friendly. Once again, you're going to end up back at the shore eventually, and without hurting anybody else or hurting yourself. So stick to the easy places. So once again, 5th session out. Doing pretty good for myself. I mean, I don't know how I'm doing it. It's just kind of just going without a lot of struggle, which was nice. Once I got my foil set up right, you know, I took it out a couple times that before I got it right, and it was just nothing was cooperating. But as soon as I set the foil back right and set up my buddy Mike Joy, things just all came together. Oh, that was a good bail right there. A flying dismount. So getting ready to wrap the video up here. Like I said, it was a lot of fun. 5th session in, and I think I'm picking it up. At least I'm getting a little more comfortable. Still want to get back to some bigger winds, Lake Mojave or Lake Isabella. Seasons are kind of turning, and we'll see what happens here. Everybody's kind of been on the lockdown here in California, so but at least we get a kite. And unfortunately, a lot of people can't do that in a lot of other areas. So I'm sorry about that, but hopefully you get back to kiting soon. So I looked at just kind of feathering in and out the bar. It seemed to help a lot and keep me on foil, and I was totally having a great time. So kind of the close out here, little kite cam session here, and we'll wrap this up. And like I said, going the opposite way from this, I seem to get on foil a little bit easier, but we're still foiling the other direction. And we're still face planting that too. Alright, so it's Mikey Mike. Hey, leave some comments and we'll see y'all kiting soon, man. Alright, peace.